Some people seem to possess a strange inner strength. They face rejection, failure, uncertainty, and moments when everything appears to be falling apart. Yet somehow they continue moving forward. They are not always the most talented, the most confident, or the luckiest people in the room. In fact, many of them experience the same fear, doubt, and frustration that everyone else feels. The difference is not that they never struggle. The difference is how they interpret struggle. Have you ever wondered why some people collapse after one failure while others use the same failure as a reason to grow stronger? Why does one person see a difficult situation as proof that they are not good enough, while another sees it as a temporary challenge that can be overcome? The answer is not simply about motivation or personality. It is connected to deeper psychological patterns that influence how people understand themselves, their challenges, and their future. One of the most important psychological concepts behind perseverance is the idea of a growth mindset, introduced by psychologist Carol Dweck. People with a growth mindset do not believe that their abilities, intelligence, or potential are fixed forever. Instead, they see skills as something that can develop through effort, learning, and adaptation. When they fail, they do not immediately ask, "What is wrong with me?" Instead, they naturally begin asking, "What can I learn from this?" Imagine two people preparing for an important goal. Both work hard and both experience failure. The first person sees failure as a final judgment. Their mind connects the event with their identity. They think, "I failed, therefore I am a failure." The second person separates the event from who they are. They think, "This attempt failed, but I can improve my approach." The external situation is the same, but their internal interpretation creates completely different emotional outcomes. People who never give up often have a different relationship with failure. They understand that failure is information, not a definition of their worth. This does not mean they enjoy disappointment or that they are unaffected by setbacks. They feel frustration, sadness, and fear like everyone else. But instead of allowing those emotions to become permanent conclusions, they treat them as temporary experiences. Another important psychological factor is self-efficacy, a concept developed by psychologist Albert Bandura. Self-efficacy refers to a person's belief in their ability to influence outcomes through their actions. People with strong self-efficacy do not necessarily believe they can succeed immediately. They believe they can learn, adapt, and continue trying even when success is uncertain. This creates a powerful cycle. When someone believes their actions matter, they are more likely to take action. When they take action, they gain experience. When they gain experience, their confidence grows. Over time, persistence becomes part of their identity. Consider someone learning a new skill. In the beginning, they may feel uncomfortable and inexperienced. Their progress may be slow, and others may even doubt them. But each small improvement becomes evidence that they are capable of growth. Their confidence is not built from pretending everything is easy. It is built from surviving difficulty and discovering that they can handle more than they thought. There is also another psychological dimension behind people who continue despite obstacles: emotional regulation. Many people assume that successful individuals are simply more disciplined, but often the deeper difference is their ability to manage uncomfortable emotions. They have learned that feeling discouraged does not mean they should stop. Feeling afraid does not mean they are moving in the wrong direction. The human brain naturally tries to protect us from pain and uncertainty. When we experience repeated failure, our mind may create avoidance patterns. We may delay action, create excuses, or convince ourselves that the goal was never important. This is not because we are weak. It is because the brain is designed to reduce emotional threats. However, resilient individuals develop the ability to notice these feelings without automatically obeying them. They understand the difference between an emotion and a command. Feeling tired does not always mean quitting is the right decision. Feeling afraid does not always mean danger is present. They create space between what they feel and what they choose to do. A third psychological angle is identity. The people who persist the longest often do not view their actions as something separate from who they are. Their goals become connected to their personal values and sense of self. They are not simply trying to complete a task. They are becoming the type of person who keeps promises to themselves. For example, someone who exercises only because they want a quick physical change may stop when results are slow. But someone who identifies as a person who respects their health will continue even during difficult periods. The behavior becomes connected to identity, and identity creates consistency. This does not mean these people are constantly productive or endlessly positive. They have moments of doubt. They experience exhaustion. They sometimes question whether continuing is worth it. But deep inside, they have developed a relationship with challenges that is different from most people. They see obstacles as part of the journey rather than evidence that the journey should end. The mindset of people who never give up is not built from believing that everything will work out perfectly. It is built from accepting that uncertainty is unavoidable and choosing to move forward anyway. They understand that progress is often invisible before it becomes visible. They trust the process of growth, even when the results are not immediate. Perhaps the most important question is not whether you have enough strength to continue. The deeper question is whether you see yourself as someone who can become stronger through difficulty. Because perseverance is not just a habit. Over time, it becomes a story you tell yourself about who you are. The people who never give up are not people who never fall. They are people who have learned that falling is not the opposite of moving forward. Sometimes, it is the very experience that teaches them how to rise again. If this reflection made you think about your own mindset, remember that resilience is not something only a few people are born with. It is a psychological ability that can be developed through awareness, practice, and the choices we make every day.